Hi, I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, we're going to continue on talking about attribution. And yesterday we talked about the complexity of it. Whether you use first touch, last touch, or some algorithm that claims to solve the mystery and quantify it all for you, the truth is you don't really know why people come to your site. Okay? You just don't. And even when you track carefully, I mean, there were catalogers in the 80s that used to change the part numbers so they could know exactly which catalog it came from, and then track it back to individual mailing lists to really know something. That idea seems to have gone by the wayside. We don't track them that carefully. But part of it was we were never getting more than about 50% of the tracking codes. Now, with a part number, you did know for sure what catalog it came from, but you didn't know that was the only one that they had. And as we added multiple layers of media and field sales and outbound telemarketing, and then the internet came along and gave us targeted media even in business to business, the whole thing just got too complex. So let's go on and talk about what we can know and how we can go forward. Okay, so the CEO wants accountability. Everybody agrees it's very important, but almost a third don't understand what they're doing. There's first touch, last touch, and modeled attribution. All of them have problems. Only 1 in 4 are confident that they're getting to ROI. 81% say that they're not confident in their attribution. I sent you back to Claude Hopkins. I urge you to read this book. Very quick read. But let's talk about Musician's Friend. They were owned by a venture company in Dubai who owned Guitar Center. And every year for 6 years, we would do multiple holdout tests. A holdout test is something that almost no one does anymore. And the idea is that we quantify the impact of stopping one of the channels. Okay? Now, granted, most of your social media, if you stopped for a while, you wouldn't see a ripple in the pond. Okay? But with mail, because it gets in your head, because it's expensive, but you know that it's getting looked at. Okay? And what we found year after year, test after test through my whole career, and I've fought this battle against other media since the 80s, all the way through. You know, why are we mailing this expensive catalog? Well, Musician's Friend said, okay, what's the impact of this mailing? So they would take 30,000 names out of maybe 500,000 and say, let's just not mail them. And what we found was the ones you didn't mail generated $12. The ones you did mail generated $22. That's $1, less than $1 mailing piece. So you're getting a 10-to-1 return on investment kind of thing. Then we held out for 3 months so that you save $3. Okay, but look, it generates, what is that? $28, $22 rather? Okay, so again, it's, you know, it's not quite 300%, but it's a big number, right? It's a huge number. It's not 300, anyway, 3,000%. Anyway, we did that test over and over and over and over, and the only time it was even close was when Channelview lost the top 3 segments of our mailing, and we found them and we fixed it. Okay, here's another case study. This was a retailer that I worked with for 3 years. They had about 80 stores, high-ticket merchandise, not something you'd buy every day. They were a mature website with, you know, online shopping. They'd been in business for 25 years, something like that, a long time. They did a lot of retargeting. They did a wide variety of social media, including video. And a consultant, not me, said, you should have a catalog. They got terrible results, especially with rented names. And they hired a new VP of marketing from a packaged goods company who had no mail experience, but said, why would we bother to mail to people who already had bought from us, who knew what we sold? Why would we want to merchandise to people who already knew? We should be trying to get new customers out of the vast, and their name recognition was almost zero. It was like 4% of people surveyed recognized even their name. So and once their names was recognized, they were on a par with Wayfair and with Williams-Sonoma, and a lot of other furniture titles. So they were doing, you know, he had a point, a very good point. And I said, well, you know what? We can tell. And he said, you can? I said, yeah, we can tell for sure. And I explained about the holdout test, how we'll take a proportion of your customers and not mail them and see how they do. Okay? So that's what we did. And this was the catalog when we started. I helped them redesign it because all these items around here were, with the exception of this one right here, were not their main brand. And we showed them that they should proportion their catalog to their sales. And so that was a big breakthrough. But, and here's the space analysis that we did. And that was pretty easy. But the other thing we did was we did this holdout test. We did very early on. And the first holdout test showed results 3 times the cost of the book. So the cost of the book was about $1, let's say, and they were generating $3 of profit from every customer. And if they didn't mail them, it was less. I should probably put the bar graph in there. But the point is that it was a 300% return on investment. Okay, and you know, I said, obviously you should keep doing this. And they said, okay, we'll keep doing it. I think they really just wanted to get rid of me because what do we need a catalog guy around for if we don't need a catalog? So anyway, make a long story short, we got a reprieve. We refined the space analysis. And I said to him, you know, this is so profitable. We really should start testing prospecting mail. I think we can drive new people to your store. And the truth was that started to work. We started testing offers, and here's here's a remake of that same little product that you barely could see on that first one. Now it's well featured. So the revenue per book went a lot better. That was great. And here's the well, this is too complicated. It's a space analysis report. Then what we did was we were noticing, as we were doing this matchback analysis, we were noticing that there were a lot of next door neighbors that were buying. And so I said to the VP, I said, would you mind if we loosen up the match a little and look for like people right in the same building but next door or down, just, you know, right over there? And he said, well, why don't you run it both ways? And so when we ran it the second way, what we found was that it was a 900% ROI, which again was more evidence that we should be doing more mail, not less. And what we really think is that we uncovered a huge pass along aspect, that I just bought a big ticket item, but I like it. And my neighbor comes over for coffee and we talk and hand him the catalog and away we go. And that's what I think was really driving it. And so then we got into retargeting with mail, more consistent TV branding. We did split testing on postcards, on specials and things, and found the offers that really worked. You know, we refined, they did a lot of focus groups and things. You know, I'm not opposed to any of these tools. But what we refined it to was always new. It can look always new. And also fits anywhere. But the fits anywhere was sort of guaranteed. It was kind of in the background. But they had a lot of walk-up brownstones and stuff. We found that in a mapping analysis. So all of these tools got brought to bear. I'm not saying it's all about mail and it's all about the holdout testing, but the mail was the foundation for actually proving the offer and the market and those things, and getting a solid foundation. Year 3. This was them, did a great job, super job. I said, you should get more people involved, not just product, and they just showed some great stuff. It was great. And then we got into this offer testing with the postcards and things, and we did a retargeting with mail so that if people visited the website, they would be sent a postcard, and sales took off, okay? Sales took off. They grew more than 35% in 2017. That was up until the Super Bowl Sunday of 2018. So it's a really very recent case. So mail played a great part Wouldn't you love 30+% growth? And the holdout testing was the foundation. The attribution through mail was the foundation for learning of all this stuff. I'm John Miglash. Like and share WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing.